Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass to Move, and for today's episode, as promised, the game against our rivals Goimeres. Now of course it is always a huge game to play your rivals, but it's even more important today, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But just to give you a little bit of an idea, I'm sure you guys have already noticed the league table, so we are still in third. 8 points clear of Sporting with a game in hand, of course. We're 2 points behind Benfica with again a game in hand, and of course 10 points away from Porto again with a game in hand. So a lot of gaps that we can close and some that we can expand as well, and it'll be interesting to see whether we can do that today against none other than our rivals, where a loss would still keep them in their Europa League spots. So in terms of what happens in the last episode, we're kind of better results really against since that game against Leicester, which we lost, but still helped us get into the Europa League knockout round, the second knockout round, of course, against Roma, as you guys know. So yeah, we had that game against Olahanense. It was away from home, and it was a draw in the end, a 0-0 draw, one of the worst draws ever really, not in terms of literally this game was the worst draw. I just mean like 0-0 draws are the worst draws. I'd rather 1-1 draw, 2-2, 3-3, whatever it is, but 0-0 draws are always so boring. And yeah, what followed was a back-to-back draw against Porto, but that game was a little bit better. Fabio Martins opened the scoring for us. Porto came back strongly in the second half and managed to score in the 51st minute. They were the away team, but it was just good to finally see us not lose to them. Of course, the draw is not pleasant, but with the second leg coming around the corner, maybe we can capitalise on, beat them then. But just to show you how far apart we play the legs, it's almost 2 months, so more like a month and a week apart, but just a huge amount of time between two legs. It's incredible to think that that result can hang in the balance for so long. But what followed was a very convincing win against Boavista, 3-0. Jubal, Fabio Martins and Hassan all on the score sheet. Of course, the 1-0 lead at half-time was good, but we managed to kick on in the second half and really just dominate and shut out the game, give them no chance of recovering. And especially because we were away from home, to see such a dominant performance was always pleasing. What was even more pleasing was getting the away goal against Roma, Hassan scoring, Juan Carl also getting sent off in the 41st minute. We'll talk more about that later on. But yeah, I think we can just go ahead and kick off today's game. We'll talk more about what happened during the game itself, and give you some context, as the game goes on. So for today's game, this is the team we're going with, and we'll be talking more about it in just a moment. So let's let the players warm up and talk about who got selected and why. So Goimeres have always proven to be a tough opposition for us, regardless of where they are in the league and where we are in the league. They are our rivals at the end of the day, and we've yet to beat them, I think. So it'll be pleasing to do so today, especially given the circumstances. So hopefully we can do that. Their key man is Josue, I don't even know how to say that, but either way, he looks like a pretty decent key man, really a good centre defender by the looks of it, and he actually wouldn't be a bad signing, decent signing. But yeah, he's still a central defender, so that kind of sets us up for what kind of game. Our key man is Hassan, and you wouldn't expect any less in this side. His stats are improving. Actually, there is a bit of an update. We have the new assistant manager because the other one left to another club. I was happy to leave him leave. I'd even complain about him staying. There were much better options. We managed to bring in a very good assistant manager in Jose Augusto, the Bissau Guinean. Judging ability 14, potential 15, man management 15, everything you need in an assistant manager. He's got a bunch of other stats that are very useful too. He's quite comfortable working with youngsters. He's got good tactical knowledge, and the best of them all, because I don't do press conferences, he plays mind games and he's unflappable instead of in front of the media. So he's perfect for me. Portuguese, can speak Portuguese as well. He's fluent in the language, so it's perfect for me. I don't even have to train him, and he just slots in right into our side. And in terms of the team, so Hassan, Martins and Santos, that's straightforward decision making. Bruno's been having decent form, no reason to necessarily drop him just yet. And Fonte's been okay off the bench, so it kind of just makes sense to carry on with Bruno, see what he can produce. He is a youngster with a lot of potential, can be one of the best players at the club, and I'm hoping that me showing him a bit of faith now on we'll spur him on. He's got some decent game time since coming back from his loan spell, so he should be happy with that, and he's 19 years of age still, so very, very bright future. Guerrero, the backup ball-winning midfielder, same thing with Danilo. Danilo got, he was suspended, of course. Guerrero performed well, so he's going to carry on in today's game. In fact, Danilo doesn't even make the bench, so, it'll be interesting to see whether he can keep up the good form. Assis as well is just straightforward. I think Juancar, Jubal, Rosic, Paulino, all straightforward. So we still got the same back five, which is good to see. With Assis anchoring just in front of the central defenders. Moreira is normally a goalkeeper for the cup competitions, but unfortunately, again, against Roma, I did play Marafona. I happen to forget to switch the goalkeepers around sometimes during cup games and whatnot. So I did, to make up for it, Moreira is going to start today instead. And I think that's it. As you saw, there may be just a little glimpse. Gomez is actually playing with a player who is injured, so maybe we can capitalize on that and possibly even isolate that player. So everyone else, as you can see, in good morale other than Juancar. I'm not even sure what he's upset about. One negative. What's the one negative? Wants to leave to play in a better division. Okay, so that's about his... Yeah. Oh, he's a Madrid supporter too, I didn't know that. Well, anyways, we can finally kick off today's game, and hopefully it's a good result. So, in terms of the games that we mentioned, so we can speak about a little bit more in detail. Olhanense, that game was, of course, very important because Porto, Benfica, both teams lost, and Sporting drew their game, but unfortunately we couldn't capitalise and get 3 points. So again, another crucial round of results that we didn't make the most of, and hopefully next year we'll be better equipped, especially if we do qualify for Champions League. We can start, straight away red, perfect. What an idiot. I was just talking about him proving his worth, and it hasn't even been 30 seconds. Amazing. It's just amazing. Alright, well, I guess Fonte is going to come on ready for Hassan, but that's just beyond stupidity. I've actually never seen that in Football Manager, someone get sent off so early in the game, the very first highlight. We're going to have to stick to counter because we really do need a result, but the moment... Oh, I shouldn't have said I have faith. I was supposed to tell him that I want to see a good result, a good performance. Yeah, but the moment we concede or anything like that, I can't do our goal difference any more damage, so I just have to go into contain, but I just have to stay on the counter to try and score. There's an early highlight here already, and this game's just started off so crazily. I don't even know what to make of it, but yeah, hopefully we can keep together. The moment we score, I'm going straight into contain. Against Porto, I was hoping we'll finally get some revenge. It just seems like we never really do that. But again, we didn't manage to do it, but at least it was, we were still winless against them, but at least it wasn't a defeat, so a little bit of improvement there. Yeah, but we performed well at least. It was a draw. Oh man. Alright, let me try. Maybe my players will improve a little bit further on. I can't believe what happened in this game. Of all games to do that, he does it on a game where we're actually gonna... It's actually kind of a good thing, because now I have an excuse to drop Bruno for Fonte, and he's just absolutely ruined his chance to prove his worth. But anyways, against Boavista, we were missing Danilo. Again, he's picking up a lot of yellow cards. He's so important to us, but he picks up so many yellow cards. It's, I guess, quite dangerous. I don't know if he's going to score again. Oh, okay, that's a decent save. No, that's all right. Yeah, he's so important to us, but he's always getting yellow cards and getting sent off. Well, not really sent off. I think he's only gotten one red card. But yeah, just too many yellows that he becomes too suspended for us, and sometimes he misses out important games. But yeah, Benfica and Sporting lost during that round, and we were playing more consistently, and it was a really important win again for us to... Santos, so you can do anything special? Not really. Alright, what's he going to do now? Ooh, decent shot. Penalty? Oh, huge deflection. That point can be a big deal to us. Definitely an own goal. I don't even think his shot was going to be on target at the end. So yeah, that game against Boavista was a huge win, because we actually capitalized on our rival team's losses. That really should have been a penalty. I'm glad he played on though, and we ended up scoring. But if we didn't score, that should have been a penalty nonetheless. And yeah, that win against Boavista sent us up to second, so it was really good for us to climb up the table there and hopefully qualify for a better stage in the Champions League. We're really battling it out with Benfica now, who've suddenly hit some sort of slump in form. Please go in our favour, not theirs. Alright, great assist. Fabio, don't get yellow. Don't get another yellow. Oh my god, if I have 2 players sent off, I think that just ruins our game. My players have just ruined this episode, basically. Conan, anyone planning on closing down? I guess not. Alright, so I guess it's Gomeres 2, Braga 1. And what a day to completely fall apart. Well, anyways, let's speak about better things. The game against Roma, where we did win, of course, is a very important away goal. Normally I like to play the first game at home so we can try and keep a clean sheet and then, you know, go away from home and get, you know, the away goals that really matter. But if you start off away from home, it's great we scored 1 goal, but Roma will be really coming back in full force when we're at home, and they'll be looking to score. You know, if they score 2 away goals, nothing we can do. We're going to be at a disadvantage at home when it comes to scoring results. Fabio all the way. Oh, one hell of a dribble. That's a solo goal all the way. He was lucky with the deflected goal, but this is definitely his goal. Huge. Really, if we get a point out of this game, I'll be very pleased. For my team to play about 90 minutes worth of football, plus injury time with 10 men and still get a result. Huge props to them. That was one hell of a shot from Fabio. But yeah, Juanca was stupidly sent off. Not as bad as Bruno here. But yeah, he was also stupidly sent off, so he did get fined, of course. Anyone that gets sent off from my team has fined them immediately, and they never really do it again. I think there's only one instance in my whole Football Manager career where someone's actually done that. Yeah, see, I don't know why Football Manager counts that as a clear-cut chance. It's kind of being sandwiched. It is a bit of a free header, I suppose. I don't know, I mean, is it a clear-cut chance? Not really. But yeah, Juanca was sent off, I think, in the 50s of the minutes. And give me a second here to sort out the team talk. Can you please go prove a point? True, but we're also man down, so let's do this. Come on, lads, man down, but can still get a result. Weren't bad, improve. Weren't bad, improve. Alright. So yeah, he was, you know, it was very disappointing to lose him, especially because he was our left back, but, you know, I had to go straight into contain. It was just before I made my substitution, so thankfully it wasn't too damaging. We can, you know, put someone else in left back. Normally it's the striker who I sacrifice, just like you saw with Hassan today. I feel very bad for Hassan because he's in good form. He's very unlucky to miss out on today's game. If I was him, I'd be very pissed at Bruno. But yeah, it's always the striker who goes whenever I get a man sent off, without a doubt. Moreira had a terrible game, so I'm quite disappointed to see. I don't think he necessarily did. I don't think he did anything with either goal. You know, deflections and whatnot. But for some reason, Football Manager blames the goalkeeper for that. You could possibly blame Rosic a bit more, which would make more sense. Any tired players? Should I save my substitutions for key men? So Fabio Martins for Rosa. He's had a great game, Fabio Martins, but he is on a yellow and he is getting to that point where he's tired. So let me bring on Miguel Rosa. Maybe he can do something special off the bench. And I think I just can't afford to get another man sent off. So normally I don't do this, but Guerrero's going to have to come off for Fran Sergio. I'm going to tell both of them that I want to see a good result. Both of them are supposed to be quite established senior players, not necessarily first teamers, but they are, you know, old enough to deal with the pressure of me telling them I want to see a good performance. If they're youngsters, never tell them that. Never tell youngsters off the bench that you want to see a good performance. Always tell them they have no absolute pressure on them at all, because that's kind of the truth of it. When you bring off a youngster off the bench, do not expect them to change the game. They might do, but don't tell them that's what you expect, because that's just too much pressure on someone so young, still trying to fight for his way into the team. You have no right to tell them to, you know, perform 100%. But yeah, it was a lot of time left still if it was in around the 50th minute. But nonetheless, I had to go straight into contain, and we did in the end win 1-0. So Roma couldn't break us down. They went into like 4 attackers sort of thing. They went all out attack basically. But we did manage to hold on, and it's huge credit to my defense. Of course, today was not the best defensive display in the world, but you know, definitely huge props to them there. I'm actually tempted to go into contain here. I really just want the result. I really want us to get 3 points. Alright, it looks like the game's going to end anyways. The good news also is that Marcelo will be back really soon, so Paulino we won't have to rely too much on Paulino. He's been decent. He hasn't had any hugely disappointing results. He's always fit, almost always available. I think he's only got injured once, out for just 2 weeks, and possibly just the flu, and that's it. So he's been huge savior for us, considering how long Marcelo was out for, and we haven't like hugely missed out Marcelo. Marcelo's a huge talent, but you know, not too not too bad having Paulino as your backup. Another little thing to point out that happened since the last episode was that we do have regen. So we have some youngsters here. I'm just telling you guys right now, a draw at home after having your play sent off within 30 seconds time. Perfect result. I'm really not disappointed at all. At least we had the chance to go 11 points clear of Sporting, but we managed to, I'm going to say you were unlucky, but we managed to go 9 points clear instead. We had the chance of going 11 points clear, which would have been perfect, which means we would get, very close to qualifying for Champions League guaranteed. And a win would have sent us into second, but we are putting some serious pressure on Benfica, and it looks like they can't really handle it. So, it's not the end of the world that we get a draw here, given the circumstances. I would have been happy with the draw in the beginning because we were the team in better form. We are the team performing better in the league as well. We're a huge 11 points away from them. But yeah, given the circumstances, we kind of have to just accept it. We'll show you, I'm not 100% sure who the regens are, but we'll show you the youth team, and you guys can get introduced to some youngsters that are possibly got a lot of potential. So there you go. This is our youth team. Anyone over 19 doesn't necessarily play. These players are not involved at all. A lot of them are loaned out. Kristen's the only one who I've somehow forgotten about, but yeah, we've managed to get a bid for him, so he's going to be off soon anyways. But yeah, some decent talent, we're getting better facilities all the time. In fact, with our training facilities planning, it's still in the planning phase, but it actually looks like it's not going to be cancelled anytime soon. I thought sometimes it gets in the planning stage and a little later on they cancel it, but it is expected to be in the 10th month of 2018. So not bad at all. And if we manage to get them both improved, we managed to improve our facilities twice within 2 years, which makes me just really happy with the board. I'm so surprised. This never ever happens. A lot of the times when they say, yeah, sure, we'll improve the facilities, and then they just back out in the last second. So it's really great to see. We have no debts, loans, projection of finances isn't too pleasing, but maybe the Champions League that will change. And we've got some decent money in the bank as well. Not the end of the world at all. But yeah, in terms of youngsters under 19, so let me sort them out by ability. Ignore everyone here really. You've got some good players coming in like Ahmed Armrani, who is actually a regen himself, but not this year, from last year, and he has the potential to be one of the best players at the club. The bad thing about it is that he's a winger. We're looking for inside forwards, but he's a winger. I think he could possibly be retrained as an inside forward. I'm surprised that my under 19s manager hasn't tried that. But yeah, worst comes to worst, maybe we can adjust tactics and play winger instead. If we don't want to do that, we can always just keep improving his talent and just sell him off for a huge chunk of money. That normally happens with our youngsters anyway. Someone tries and buys them, so why not? Goalkeeper Ricardo Velo. I wanted to, if I didn't need Moreira, I would have gone with Velo, but unfortunately he wasn't actually ready for Primeira Liga football, so I couldn't consider him either. Reco Silva, thankfully retrained as a central midfielder, advanced playmaker who was slotting into our team quite comfortably, but still only second league football. He's not ready for the first league just yet. But in terms of potential, yep, a couple of players. I'd say anyone from here to about here has every chance of making our team. We've got some players who slot in seamlessly, some who need some work. So someone like a ball-winning midfielder like Pinto here, perfect. Centre, he's a defensive centre-back, which isn't too pleasing, but if we can work on his mental so he can turn into a central defender. Determination 20 means he's almost guaranteed to be a great prospect. But determination isn't just enough. Sometimes it's facilities, coaches, all that business. Reco, again, seamless, he'll slot into our side quite easily. A poacher, not necessarily. If you can retrain him elsewhere or possibly sell him on for a bunch of money. We're looking for false nines in the striker department. But again, you never know. We can change around tactics if need be. We have to see if these players actually develop into the players that we are looking for. It's good to see them now and consider them, but until it actually happens, we can't really just change our tactics for one youngster. Deep lying forward will be very pleasing, but Antunes was already very unhappy with the club, so he did want to leave. But yeah, as a false nine, he'll do a decent job. He's got some vision, some passing. He's much more comfortable as a deep lying forward, but I think he would do a decent job as a false nine too, and it'd be great to bring someone in from the youngsters. Inside forward, Luther Singh, I think he's not ready just yet, but he is playing in Aruka. But yeah, inside forward would easily slot into our team as well. He is an advanced playmaker originally, but I don't think he's got necessarily the passing, not too much vision for an advanced playmaker, so it makes more sense for him to be an inside forward. He's got some good acceleration pace, some decent finishing, he's got dribbling, decision making improve, you know, as the time goes on. Passing maybe could do some work as well. Neto, again, another youngster who's just a winger, but if we retrain him to be an inside forward, he is definitely better as a winger, but we can maybe improve some of these stats as he gets better as well with age anyways. Joka as well, advanced playmaker, another one of the youngsters who I was considering bringing back after we sold Chaka, or Cheka, I think it was. But yeah, we trusted Bruno because he had more potential than Hoka or Joka here. You know, he's only considered to become a good player for most Primeira Liga sides. We're looking for leading really, but yeah, he should technically be good enough for our team currently anyways, but we're trying to build for more than that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all for today's episode. In terms of when we'll be back, it's always 5 games time, so unfortunately we won't show you the Roma game. If we do actually qualify from this game, it'll be even better to show you the quarterfinals, or is it round of 16? I think it's round of 16, possibly quarterfinals and whatnot. You know, the more serious it gets, then we can show you. Right now we're just on a run that doesn't, it beats expectations, but we're not really expecting to get anywhere, and unless something serious happens, our main focus is really the Primeira Liga and actually qualifying for Champions League, not Europa League. Benfica, huge game as well. We can go top if we beat them. I actually didn't notice us playing this soon. Chavez as well is always an interesting game to play against them, and Porto in the semi-final League 2. So hopefully when we do show you this game against Belenense, we'll be much better off in the Primeira Liga as well as in 2 other cup competitions, and maybe we can finally punish Porto and maybe get a cup in our, you know, win a cup. Basically, Taça de Portugal would be great to win. Last year's holders were Rio Ave, and they're not. They are involved actually, but it looks like they actually won't be in the final. So it will be between us and Ferreira, and I would back us against Ferreira, but you never know. Cup competition is always tricky, so let's see how it goes. So yeah, just to double check with you guys, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so there you go, and then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so the very last game of the season as well, and that would only happen if both these games go haywire. If they don't, you know, if we actually do perform well in both of the cup competitions, then we actually will have maybe another episode in between to show you one of those games. But anyways, I think that will be all for today's episode, so if you did enjoy them, please do of course hit the like button and subscribe for more daily Football Manager 2017 content. And as always guys, thank you all very much for watching.